So I'm going to do another one now. Yeah. Oh, here, let me just get to the problem on the whiteboard. Here we go. Okay, hopefully you can see. I think you can see that. All right, cool. So again, let's first see, are there any can we figure out what the GCF of this thing is? Well, again, there's a non-zero constant term, right? And because there's a non-zero constant term, that's what the 5 is, that tells us we can't factor out any variables, right? We can't. So I guess in the back of your mind, you could say, okay, that m would have to be 0 then. And you can't see that. Let me just scroll down a bit. There we go. Now, the question is, if we look at the coefficients, 12, 2, 30, and 5, what is the greatest common factor? Well, if you look at 2 alone, what are the factors of 2? 1 and 2, right? Now, if we look at 5 alone, so I'm dealing with the smaller numbers first. We have 1 and 5. Well, right away, you could tell me that the GCF of the numbers, right, has to be 1. Because these two numbers alone only have a common factor of 1. These two numbers meaning 2 and 5. So you could take that B to be 1. So our GCF here must be just 1. X to the 0, I guess, if you want, which is 1. In other words, you can't factor out the GCF in the beginning. Okay. So now what we want to do is apply factor by grouping. Okay, so again, we're going to form 2 groups. Actually, wait, got a little ahead of myself. There we go, plus 2x squared. Okay, and again, I'm putting addition here. In other words, what I'm doing here, I'm taking the minus 30x and writing it as plus the negative. Okay. Yeah, let me show the steps, because I feel like that's not going to make sense what I just said. So we have 12x cubed plus 2x squared. Let me show all the steps. What? Someone have a question? Okay. Thought someone had a question. So from here, we have minus 30x, right? We want to change that into addition. Okay? Let me show you why, actually. If we don't do that, and without thinking, we just put the parentheses in like this, well, notice that this is not the same problem anymore. Right? This is not the same as what we started with. Can everyone see why? Well, if I were to distribute this negative, so we have the first part, but if I were to distribute that negative, we would have minus 30x, but then we would have plus 5, right? That's why you have to be careful with parentheses. So that's why you have to be careful with the parentheses. That's why I like to have addition at the third term always, because if you make it into addition, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So anyway, let me do that. So I'm going to have to erase this, okay? Actually, no, let me write underneath it. There we go. So that's just a side. Oh, jeez. That's just a side note. Okay, so we have 12x cubed plus 2x squared plus minus 30x minus 5. Let me just zoom up a bit. There we go. And again, you want to factor each of those two groups individually. So for the 12x cubed plus 2x squared, right? Well, notice we have x squared there, right? 2 is the smallest exponent of x. So we can take that out. And if you look at 2 and 12, right? 2 is itself a factor of 12. So we can take that out. So we have 2x squared. And now we have to divide to see what's left over. Now we have to get what's left over. We'll get to the other part, don't worry. So from here, we're going to have 2. Oh, wait, they can't see that? Let me just scroll up a bit. 2x squared. 12 over 2, right? That's 6. X cubed over x squared is x. We have 2x squared over itself. That's just 1. Okay, that's the first group. For the second group, what can we take out? Well, let's take out minus 5. So we're going to have minus 30x over minus 5, minus 5 over minus 5. And that's going to be minus 5 times, oh wait, they can't see that. Oh boy. There we go. Hold on, you can't see that. Okay, now you can see it. Minus 30x over minus 5, well, that's just 6x. And minus 5 over minus 5, well, it's actually, no, that's plus 1. And so we have that factor of 6x plus 1. Let me just skip the step. Let me just get to the answer. You have 6x plus 1 times 2x squared plus negative 5. And that's our answer. I mean, I know that one I rushed through a bit because I kind of was running out of time. I really hope it makes sense. I'll probably do another example or two on Friday. Then we'll get to more factoring. I mean, the next factoring thing deals with factor by grouping anyway. So, all right. I think we're going to have to, it looks like we're running out of time. At least I think we are. Let me see. Yeah, we have like 20 seconds left. So I hope this makes sense, but we'll stop here. And I'll see you guys on Friday, okay?
Thank you.
All right. I mean, I hope this makes sense. I mean, I'll definitely post a video or two from YouTube. I did post some already, actually, so hopefully they'll help. All right, let me just stop the recording.